There, Grandma Roseanne, and we're going to make comfort food to the supreme. Oh my word. We're going to do mac and cheese, which is, I think, the #1 comfort food in my book, but now we're going to do it with lobster. We're going to take it to that next level. So what I have here are 2 lobster tails. They're about 4 ounces each, and what we want to do is cut them in half. So first thing you're going to do is just get your, hopefully you have some kitchen shears. If not, whatever you can use. You want to just get right under the shell, just right under the shell, and just cut down, just like that. And you'll cut all the way down to the tail. Then we want to cut the little tail off, like that. Come with your sturdy knife and right in half. Couldn't be easier, you guys. Now let me get the second one done and then I'll show you what we're gonna do. So once again, right under the shell, right to the end. Cut the tail off. And cut it in half. There. Now, this is going to be a wonderful serving for 2 people. Yes, cameraman and I are going to enjoy lobster mac and cheese. So come on over, let's get started. What we're going to do is we are going to really enhance the flavor of the entire dish because we are going to cook these not all the way through, just 2 minutes on each side, but we're also going to cook the shell. And what that's going to do is just give you an amazing flavor. So here I have just about, I don't know, tablespoon of oil, just a little bit. Let me get that nice and hot. And you can tell it's hot when it starts rippling in there. Whenever you're cooking shrimp or you're cooking lobster, don't ever throw the shells away. There's so much flavor in those shells. Whenever I'm doing shrimp, I don't care what I'm doing with it, I always save the shells. If I'm not going to use them, because maybe I'm just doing a boiled shrimp, if I'm not going to use them then, I freeze them. And I make sure I have them for the next time I'm going to do a seafood dish of any kind. All right. Now we're just going to place these in very nicely in our pan. Put the screen on. I don't know if you have one of these, but it really helps the grease is going to be squirting off everywhere. If you don't have one, you just have to clean up a little bit more. Now to this, I'm just going to add a little bit of lemon juice. Not too much. Just that little bit of enhanced flavor. It's been 2 minutes on one side. Now we're going to flip them, and we're going to go to the meat side. When these have cooked just those few minutes, we're going to transfer them onto a plate here. I'm going to let them cool down. Do not wash out the pan. We want all the flavoring for the pankos that we're going to be doing. And that's going to be the breading that goes on top. So you want the flavor in there. Don't wash the pan. What we have done here is about a total of 5 minutes. Now we're going to take them off. Ooh, they're nice. That little bit of char on there is perfect. Okay, aren't they beautiful? Ooh, I love lobster. Now we're going to go ahead and use the pan, the flavoring that's in here. We're going to add about ½ a tablespoon of butter. Melt that down. I have 3 tablespoons of Pankos. If you're not familiar with Pankos, you need to become familiar with Pankos because they are wonderful. And here I have 3 tablespoons of Parmesan cheese. So we're just going to cook this down. Get it all nice and toasty. And what Pankos are, it's Japanese breadcrumbs. I use them a lot. I love them and I use them for most everything. They're really, really delicious. We want that Parmesan to melt down a little bit. If it does, great. If it doesn't, it's going to melt when it goes in the oven. But we just really want these kind of toasty. Now, can you just envision how much flavor there is with the shrimp, with the lobster shells, that little bit of lemon, little bit of butter, and all of these really beautiful toasted Pankos that we're going to set aside. And this will be the last thing that we use. What we're going to do now is we're going to start on the sauce for the mac and cheese. And this is the key element. You don't want to skip here. You really want to do it nice and smooth and delicious and all the ingredients adding the flavor. So, all right, in the pan, what I did is I just put in 2 tablespoons of butter. We're gonna melt that down. And then I have 1.5 tablespoons of flour here. Typically, with a roux, it's equal flour to butter. But this recipe out several times, so I know that minimizing the flour here really enhances the flavor. What you want to do now is cook the roux down because you want to get rid of all that raw flour taste. That's not a pleasant taste. But when we get done, it's going to be fantastic. Now, slowly, we're going to add 1.5 cups of milk. And the reason we're doing this slowly is we don't want lumps in this. I think I need a whisk. Oh, cameraman, come here and look at this. This is exactly what it should be looking like. You see this? Little bits at a time. This is not the time to be a speed demon. And now we can pour the rest of it in. Because now there's no risk of it lumping. We're going to let this just cook for a bit. It's going to start to thicken, and then we're going to add the rest of the ingredients. This can be like on a medium to medium-high heat. I kicked it up just a little bit, putting it to medium-high. This is a really elegant dish to prepare. But honestly, it's really fast and it's really easy. And you can do steps ahead, like you can prepare your lobster ahead. If you want to do this with crab, it would be equally as good. A little harder on the budget. Our crab is up to $50 a pound. Oh my word. All right, now I'm going to start adding additional ingredients. This is cayenne pepper, and I'm just going to add a pinch, just like that. This is a 1/4 teaspoon of paprika, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. We'll give that a good mix. Nutmeg. And hopefully you will use the real nut. And how much do you put in? just till your little fingers get tired. A couple of shakes of Worcestershire sauce. Whoa, works better if it goes in the pot. And at this stage, I would really recommend just giving it a taste, making sure that you've got all your seasonings the way you like them. Oh, that's good. Now, the cheeses. I've got 3 tablespoons of Gruyere and 1 cup of cheddar. You probably could do any cheeses that you really enjoy. You probably could do those and be just fine with that. We're going to melt that down. I'm just going to keep that on warm. Now we're going to come back and we're going to deal with the lobster. So all you want to do, and they're cool enough now, so you're not going to be burning yourself. All you want to do is just get your thumb in there, just like that, and just peel it out. And as you get it out, feel it. Make sure that there's no cartilage in there, because that doesn't taste very good. Nice big pieces of lobster. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? All right, now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut these into nice bite-sized pieces. I don't want it shredded. I want chunks of lobster in there. So just nice bite size. There. Okay. I have pre-cooked elbow macaroni. So that is now going to get included in this. I know you're going to know how much macaroni I put in there. I always just kind of keep putting it in and coating it until I feel it's coated enough. But I'll kind of give you an estimate. And this is elbow macaroni, and I just cooked it according to directions. So bring it to a boiling water, bring it to a high boil, and then be sure to have enough salt in there, and then cook it, I think, like 12 minutes. So we will start out with 2 cups. And let's just see what that might do. And what might do is a 1/3 cup. What I have also done is I saved some of the pasta water. And this is important because if your sauce starts getting just a little bit too thick, add just a little bit of water to loosen it. Keep in mind it's going to bake, so you want a little bit more moisture in there. I think that's about right. What happens to the rest of this? Well, tomorrow's dinner is going to be a marinated tri-tip roast on the grill, and I'm going to make macaroni salad to go with it. So nothing's wasted. Now what I have done is I have just coated this with just a little bit of coconut oil, and now I'm just going to go ahead and move everything from this big old pot into this nice serving dish. Oh, it's so cheesy and beautiful. Then we're going to add our lobster pieces. So I want to be sure that like almost every bite is going to have a bite of lobster. So I strategically place the lobster. And this was just 8 ounces of lobster, but wow, look at what it did. It gave us a lot. Now, Press it in a little bit, just like that. Kind of bury it in. As good as the Panko's is, I really don't like a whole lot on the top of this. I really want it to have just a little bit of crunch, but I don't want to take away from the real taste of what we're going for here, which is just beautiful macaroni, a gorgeous sauce, and wonderful, wonderful, wonderful lobster. So just a little bit on top, just like that. Now I'm going to pop it in the oven. It's going to be there for 15 to 20 minutes. Then we're going to let it cool down for like another 8 minutes, and then it's dinner time. So here goes. All right, I'll be back shortly. Bye. Well, this just came out of the oven. It was nice and bubbly, and we let it set for probably 3 minutes. It should really set for like 8 minutes, but I'm sorry. I'm not patient, and we want to try it. So, I'm gonna scoop and serve. Ooh, look at that. Now you can tell how incredibly warm it is by all the steam that's coming off of it. So I'm going to wait just a moment before I take that taste. But when we made this the other day, cameraman put some Tabasco sauce or sriracha, some sort of a hot sauce on his, and he said it was really, really delicious. Now, if you like hotter foods, that probably would be something wonderful to do. I just kind of like this just the way it is. So I have a piece of lobster on here, a nice big chunk, and beautiful sauce and macaroni. At what point of temperature does steam arise? Because there's a lot of steam coming off of this right now. And I don't want to burn my mouth, but I really want to taste it. So blow on it. If I could do a happy dance, I would be doing it
so
right
good.
now. Oh
So
man, this is beyond fantastic, beyond. Give it a shot, give it a try. Super easy. You probably have most of the ingredients. I don't know if lobster ever goes on sale or not, but you know, if it's an anniversary or a celebration or a birthday or something special that you just want to do for someone, this is a beautiful way to do it. So thank you for coming, and I love it when you come. You know, I tell you that all the time. So I really would love to have you subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Thumbs up if you liked it. Give me a comment if you made it. I want to know how it went. And especially if there was an event around the serving of it. So with that being said, ingredients below, come back, and cameraman and I are going to sit down and have a fabulous dinner. Thank you. Goodbye.